terrorism, the abuse of humanity, criminality, rape, killing, maiming, destruction. We are a failing state. And the solution is nothing than the need to give birth to a new Nigeria. But now, today, we are seeing that a fraudulent constitution in the hands of people who have hidden agendas, who hate our country, who are beholden to Niger, Mali, Chad, and other foreign countries. They have nothing to offer us. Well, I will tell you, in the Northeast alone, more than 3,000 churches have been destroyed. More than 400 priests and pastors have been killed. And there is a pattern that is reserved only for Christians, and that is behavior. Last year, the Khan chairman of Adamawa was beheaded, even after a ransom was paid. We have been told that the so-called bandits, you pressmen have been forced to call them bandits. They are not bandits because bandits do not bring down military aircraft. No bandit has the capacity to bring down a military aircraft. No bandit has the power to attack Nigerian Defense Academy, the premier institution for the training of our armed forces. No bandit has the capacity. Only terrorists have the capacity. We are being told that these terrorists are part of the insurgents. Because they do these kidnappings, they raise this money in order to fund the insurgents. And General Abacha said that if insurgency goes for more than 24 hours, some people in high places know something about it.
Alright guys, welcome to my channel guys. So I actually thought that it's only the people of Biafra, which is the iPod, the indigenous people of Biafra, that's only calling for deviation, right? So in this particular video update, I have about 3 to 4 different types of video updates, but all these video updates are channeled into what is going on in the politics, and also how the government is using the people to play politics, and at the end of the day send headsmen or some of the government officials also, send headsmen into most of the communities that never agreed with them. I'm going to actually guys to listen to all the updates that we have in this particular video, and please don't be in a hurry to skip so as to get more details of what is currently going on in the government, and also decisions that have been made by some of the angry youth, and decisions that have been made by some northern leaders, and decisions that have been made by some kings of certain tribes, communities, and some governors. I like you guys to just take your time and listen to the update, and I'll be right back.
Go abroad, carry money, billion of dollars, billion of money again, and people are suffering here.
Let's tell ourselves the truth now, at least for once. See, I'm going to speak, and a lot of people will think I'm speaking like a Biafrano, but no, I want us to reason like analytical human beings. The fact is, the division of Nigeria, with all the indications on ground so far, is inevitable. The division of Nigeria is inevitable without implementing the regional system of government. Okay, let's look at the indicators. Number one, the fact is, the issue of national insecurity at the moment happens to be majorly a northern problem, right? You will quite agree with me on that. And in that regards now, any government of the day, any president at the moment that is not of the northern descent or northern origin that tries to fix that, if he's hoping to come for a second tenure, I bet you he can succeed in that. You quite agree with me, right? And this is what I mean by that. Okay. In considering bringing into view now what happened recently in Benue, just the normal issue of farmers' herders clashes, as they call it, right? Okay. in fixing this kind of situations. Now, forget about the deployment of military, police, whatever, the president coming to visit. You quite agree with me that that doesn't solve anything, and it's not going to solve anything. The only thing that will solve that, to some certain extent, is we having a situation where there is ranches established for herders, right? That is to say, the herders must be in tune with changing times. Because you quite agree with me, there is no developed country you go to in this world today that you'll find a situation where animals wander all around. There is none. You can never find any developed country of that nature. But in so doing now, if the president of the day tries to enforce that, it's going to be rejected by the northerners to some certain extent, evidently clear even in the past, right? Considering the fact that these people are citizens or whatever, they are nomadic in nature, right? That has always been the conversation. They are nomadic in nature. So they move from places to places. And in fact, I don't know where we're actually getting this. Okay, if you say you are nomadic in nature, how do you expect the government to account for you? Have you ever seen a country where you have citizens being nomadic in nature and the government can account for them and make budgets for? So you see, the fact is, the herders must be in tune with changing times, but they are not ready for that. And even the politicians are not ready to have that conversation. Let's look at the issue of dialogue. We need to preach dialogue. We need to be accommodating. There's enough to share, according to Tinubu. But looking at it, you quite agree with me that as far as this life, this nature is concerned now, people have metamorphosized over time, which is the fact that people no more just live because they want to embrace each other in love and peace and harmony. There are two things that guide and regulate the conduct of humanity. One, adequate enforcement of the law, even in developed countries. That is to say, you know that when you do this, this will happen. You must reap for it. You will go in for it. That makes people behave to some certain extent. Another thing that guides people's conduct is the fact that they must be subordinate and superior. Right? That is to say, in anywhere I live for there to be peace, is either they must be, you are the senior, I am the junior. So you know that when you try me, I will finish you, and me that knows that you are more powerful than me, I will not try you. Those are the things that keeps people in check. But if you think that we're going to sit down and be, in as much as we desire one Nigeria, we want to preach and we want to be all accommodating, we believe we're stronger together, but it's not the preaching of peace and love or whatever that keeps people together. These two indications are what keeps people together. And you quite agree with me to some certain extent, the two is missing. There is no adequate enforcement of laws. We are under-policed. Even the armed forces is overwhelmed, and a lot of other things. So what will keep people in check? So what we are fighting for at the moment is a situation where who is more powerful? Is it me, the Fulani man? Is it me, the Yoruba man? Is it me, the Igbo man? Or is it me, the Hausa man? The fact is, that must be sorted out. When it's sorted out, now everybody will know his position and people now will just decide to keep quiet and whatever. Looking at it, when you now introduce our religious extremism in all aspects as well, that is evident in the country. You have a lot of radical Muslims, radical Christians. We're not ready to tolerate each other. The only thing that will make us tolerate each other, let's tell ourselves the truth, is the full implementation of the law and the adequate protection of the vulnerable. That is just it. And all these things are missing. So how do you tell me we are not going to divide? And the fact is, looking at it now, Tinubu will not dare go that way. Right? Because by the time he tries to introduce that, okay, there must be establishment of ranches to curtail the free movement of the Fulanis, you quite agree with me that he is going to lose a lot of... the fact is he's already losing at the same time as far as the North is concerned at the moment. And that is what even will even bring the division closer in that regards. In the sense that Tinubu doesn't look like somebody that is ready to let go of the fact that this 8 years is his birthright. And at the same time, the Northerners are not ready to give it to him. So when you have a clash of the titans, Abi, that is what I refer to this 2027. Forget about this defection. Clash of the titans is going to definitely give birth to something. So with all these indications on ground, my brother, the issue of one Nigeria, we are going to get better, will remain nothing but a delusion, seriously.
Tell me what you did not understand in everything this guy said. You know, from the north to the south, east to west, tell me someone who do not understand that Nigeria is not sustainable like this. Apart from people who has oil blogs, the business moguls who are benefiting from a collective, population like Dangote and the rest of them, and people whose life is tied to politics of greed and wickedness. These are the people who actually believe that even though Nigeria is not going to work, as far as it is working for us, just like 1% of Nigerians, since it's working for us, no need, let us just be doing this. And most of these people influences the masses to believe that Nigeria is sustainable. That is the major problem. That is major problem. How can you, because you are making money, you don't think about your future? And that reminds me about the philosophy of the Chinese. Why Chinese continue to wax from across the world, anywhere they are progressing, they are waxing from. This is because Chinese have a motto. When I mean a motto, I'm talking about like an affirmation. It means that that means that once you come to this life, you must be able to pay price for your future generation, for your children to come. But in Nigeria, no. The only thing they believe is that if I can, save more money for my children, buy houses abroad for them, I think it's okay, I send them abroad. They refuse to understand that if the world is not stable, if the country is not stable, if your environment is not stable, even that your children are still in trouble. So even though you send your children to America, send them to here, you people don't even know what is coming. Time will come, they will track your children and kill them wherever they are. It will happen. So do not even think that the masses are just for nothing. So it doesn't concern you. Your doctor is abroad. Everything you have is in abroad. Ask yourself this question. Why is it that a governor will build hospital, a minister will build a hospital, but he will not go to that hospital? They will build schools, they will not allow their children to go to that schools. They will do all sorts of things in the name of we are doing it for you people. And you'll be clapping. Why is their children not there? Because that is a substandard. They believe that is not good enough for them. They believe that this is not good enough for our children. It is for you, the poor masses. Just imagine, think about these things. Yaya Bello is an example. He sent his children to private American university, and he pays school fees up front for them, and he builds local schools for poor people. Nigeria can never go forward like this. So I think these guys still have the knowledge of how the place is. He's a northerner, so maybe you think that, it's a southern thing, that Nigeria should not be one. Everybody knows that Nigeria should not be one. Even your president knows that this country cannot go forward.
This is beautiful. This you have here are TV youth who have been pushed to the wall now. As you can see them over there, gyrating at the middle of the night. They've prepared their mind. They've made up their mind that instead of me dying, weighing like a baby, I would rather die fighting. And I have to give it up to them. I have always said it that the only wall pushing this national invasion that has been set into motion since 1804 by the jihadists right into the south are the Middle Beltans. The Middle Beltans are like a wall of fortress. In fact, they are called the moat. They are the moat protecting the south from that open invasion, and of course, just an easy way. The TVs, don't forget the guy that challenged Tinubu at the just concluded visit Tinubu did in Benue. The only person that could challenge him was the traditional ruler of the TVs, Honorary James or thereabout. He said, listen, this is not about farmers' headers. No, don't bring that rhetorics. Those are the lies. Those are the guises that they stay beneath while they are perpetrating their agenda. He said this is purely a strategic, premeditated, highly calculated, extremely sophisticated land grabbing and, as far as it's concerned, ethnic cleansing for one goal: returning or turning Nigeria into a full-blown Islamic state. And the TV youths have caught up on that serious signal that was thrown by their chief. I am at this stage, I know that before you gun one TV man down, instead go don't gun one of you down. And it is troubling for me because I know that the TVs, they are not going into this battle to only fight the Fulani marauding terrorists. No. There are some forces in the Nigeria army that will arrest these young guys because they will be tagged terrorists. They will be tagged rebels. In fact, if care is not taking the whole of TV territory, right, which of course cuts across Plateau and Benue, will be placed under what we call martial law. Is that not what we have in Southeast? In the Southeast, at the wake of this insecurity, Nnamdi Kanu came forward and he said, federal government, there are some people without being welcome that have taken over all our forests and bushes. These people are in that bush not to feed their cattle alone. They are there with a sinister agenda. They are coming out during the day with their cows to draw the map of our communities, and at night they go into the community to rape our women, kidnap our children, and this must stop. We need the help of the Nigerian. These were the early warnings that persons like Nnamdi Kanu, Sunday Igbohu, all of them came out to do. They were shouting, screaming, but at the end of the day, you know the reactions. Nobody took them seriously. They were told that they should just get out and Nigeria is working on it. Just as Tinubu has just released a communique about 2 hours ago regarding the massacre that happened in Plateau State. I made a video about that, as you can see on my screen over there. That just yesterday, Friday into Saturday, in the middle of the night, a bus filled with 22 Hausa Fulanis was being arrested by the Mangu youth. They asked the bus driver, where you they go? He said, I miss road. They said, you miss road, Ke? Oh yeah, Mokuna, come down. Where are you all going to? They were just, and then those guys impatient, and then they struck. Unfortunately, they lynched about 16 of them, or is it 16 or 16? People died. We have seen so many northern political leaders, right from the top-ranked political and religious leader, the likes of Professor Pantani. Let me tell you, the alacrity of their response to these killings, just as you had in the issue of Iromi, is how they responded yesterday. Everybody, nothing less than 200 northern leaders have written a letter of condolence. They have written a letter of actions to be taken, a letter of apprehension to be done. We've called out the Nigerian Army, called out the Nigerian police. You see that sign of inequality, that sign of that tribal sentiment? Are you with me now? And you are asking me not to see the TV youth gyrating, they are in high spirits, in morale. These guys they ginger themselves like, listen, I would rather die a warrior than to die a slave. I would rather die fighting than to die on my knees. Because historically, these guys have always been warriors. Religion, I make them turn mumu. Now religion, Christianity, I turn them to mumu. As at the early 19th centuries, when the Fulanization agenda was kick-started by Usman Dan Fodio, he got to Middle Belt. You know what his eye saw? His mouth couldn't say it. He bit more than what he could chew. He had to run back. Because he knew that almost this one's a higher level of strong men with better juju a day. I repeat, the tour of TV, because for me, I am seeing that man as a revolutionary. I am seeing him as the only voice in the Middle Belt. The tour of TV is the only one that will look at the perpetrators and tell them that you people are the one.
It's not header farmers clashes. It's not communal clashes. It's not repressor attacks or skirmishes. It is this misinformation that has led to suggestions such as remain tolerant, negotiate for peace, learn to live with your neighbors. What we are dealing with here in Benue is a calculated, well-planned, full-scale genocidal invasion and land-grabbing campaign by header terrorists and bandits, which has been on for decades and is worsening every year. Wrong diagnosis will always lead to wrong treatment. So we are dealing with something far more sinister than we think about. It's not learning to live with your neighbors. It is dealing with a war. The second apprehension, Your Excellency, we have is the politicization of the crisis. Politicians in the states are busy politicizing the crisis, passing blames instead of joining hands to address the crisis. We hear there are some politicians who will even prefer that the crisis should worsen so that it will be a basis for declaration of a state of emergency in Benue State. Your Excellency, this is unfortunate, and any politicians that prays for more people to die for such a project is against the wishes of the people of Benue State. Appeal. Your Excellency, Benue State has made a lot of sacrifices to keep this country united. Many of our people died during the Civil War. We paid the supreme price for this country to keep this country united. Why should we be treated like this? What you have come to condone us is just one in a series of several massacres in this state. What has Benue State done to merit what we are going through? We appeal to you to end the genocide going on in Benue State and the insecurity in all parts of Nigeria. We know you are capable of doing it, sir.
How come no arrest has been made? I expect there should be arrests of those criminals.
Hi, my name is.
Stay in the bush and Oloyede and Pasha. Thank all of you. But we need to keep our ears to the ground. Let's get those criminals. Let's get them out. So DGNIA and DGSSS, retool your information channels and let's have tangible.
What pains me most is that these people told us that they are going to bring, after buying enough weapons, they'll bring all those that have been put in disarray or driven away from Zamfara, Katsina, Zambisa forest, that they are all coming to locate themselves in Igbo land, that there's no security in Igbo land, that they will come there and then they will deal with us. And that the dumb man was just flippant. Maybe he took something. He said, do you know Ibadan? Lagos Expressway? We are in all the bush there. We're everywhere there. We're also in the south. So we are waiting for the slightest signal. We will finish you people and take over this land. So they claim that Nigeria belongs to Fulani. They said it. That is why we are afraid of, I've been talking about this open grazing and this Roga. Yeah. They have a plan. And I accuse the soldiers who are not non-Christians. Some of them are Fulani. They are part of it. But they are shooting these men. When our people wanted to comb the bush, the soldiers said, if you move a step, we'll finish you. Don't go there. So they know where the boys are. They know the location. And what they do is in the daytime, they use their cow to confuse people. Then after some time, the cows will go to rest and they take their gun and do the operation of kidnapping. Government should act decisively. They should act decisively. Otherwise, what is happening in the northern part of the country will be a child's play. So what will happen here? So government should sit up, because the primary purpose of government is to secure life and property. Any government that has failed in that has failed woefully. And Nigeria is on a reverse gear. We are nosediving. We are nosediving. You don't have security. All the bush we went around, no soldier, no police, nothing. The people, were having a field there. And where they released us was, if they kidnap people along Isukwato, they will parade them round, and there, when they pay ransom, they are released from that particular spot. Those they arrest, they kidnap along Enugu Expressway, Log Banta, they bring them. Eventually, they bring them there to collect ransom. Those they kidnap along anywhere in the south, around the southwest. So they know that they are there.